Many people love living in the Comox Valley and talk about the spectacular scenery and friendly people. But what about the sounds and the music of the valley? We have many outstanding musicians living in the valley, and one musician who chose to live in the Comox Valley and moved here from Seoul, South Korea, is Helena Jung.
My mom was the pianist, so I just grew up with the music very naturally. And then she taught me to play the piano, and we always went to a theater or a musical or a gallery, so all kinds of art, and then I really loved it. And when I just kind of concert, the student concert it was, and all piano students play, then only one boy played cello. And then, wow, it looks very special. And then the sound of the cello has captivated me right away. And I just asked my parents and to buy the cello, and I just started a day after. Then, yeah, now it's over 35 years, yeah.
Helena chose the cello at a young age and has played music internationally in Germany and Switzerland. She is currently a member of the Vancouver Island Symphony and the Nanaimo Chamber Orchestra. Helena teaches many students, both young and older, to play the cello.
So I really recommend to, not cello is fine, any kind of music or any art, it's for young kids. It's really good for them. This is my boyfriend. I always say, yeah, my boyfriend. And he's quite old man, 1912. So over 100 years now, yeah. I just picked this one. I found him. I found it in the Switzerland, and this is actually the French one. So, when you learn the cello when you're a young age, we just start like a half-size cello or 3/4, or actually they have some 8th-size cello too. It's very tiny, like a viola size. So they just start with some smaller one because it's a quite big instrument, and then their hands are quite small. So yeah, so it's no problem. So I have two students. How old are they? They're 10 years old. Yeah. But usually 7 years or 8 years, they just start. Like learning the language, it's the same thing, learning the cello. So this is the same thing. Actually, it's good for their brain because the two arms is kind of moves different way, right? And also we have to think about everything, lots of things at once. So it's good for brain to focus, or yeah, it's a really good thing, yeah.
When you look out at the mountains and ocean and watch the swans and the bumblebees, you may also hear music of the cello by Helena Jung and students. For Artsbeat in the Comox Valley, I am Kate Brown. Today you're going to show us printmaking.
Yes, a really simple kind of printmaking that you can do at home quite easily. I've prepared it. This is a jelly pad. You can buy them ready-made, or you can make them with glycerin and gelatin, but hopefully you'll have better luck than I did. It broke, I stirred it up, it's got bubbles in it. But there's a recipe for this online. So you could do that. So this is a jelly pad, and I've just registered paper so that when we print, it will always come back to the same spot. All right, so I've got a glass plate and I've got a palette of colors. So I'm working on a glass cutting board. You could use any old piece of glass because you apply the paints with a roller. You could apply them any way you'd like. Sometimes I just make blobs of paints, and sometimes I use a brush, but today we're just going to use a ruler and make a rather colorful rainbow that probably has no relationship to reality. slip it on, rub it gently, and voila, you have a print. This is going to be what's called the ghost print, and sometimes your ghost print turns out better than your original, but it gives you just more opportunities for fun. So I have my rainbow, and now just to show you some of the things that you could do, you could just take a rubber stamp, dip it in some paint, and there you've got a bluebird on your rainbow. Simple as could be.
So the program runs for 13 weeks, and we have students we have 9 participants for the 13 weeks, and participants come for the first 5 weeks, and they're trained in media skills, and they make a film about something that they care about changing in the community. And then they come for the second 8 weeks, and they make a film about, they work with a community organization that is participating in change. So we work with non-for-profits, sustainable businesses, people who we think are doing really neat things in our community.
I've had a lot of fun with my film that I've made for the Comox Valley Head Injury Society about just kind of a mini documentary about what they do there. And it's been a lot of fun to be able to interview and record the participants, because we got to do like music therapy, and they're a very fun group.
What I find really neat and unexpected is that it really engages active citizenship. So the youth come and they make something about something they care about, and then they work with a community organization that's doing that work. And I think those are the links that people need to kind of engage in, realizing that their voice matters. Like it's
a community link, and they're giving the community a voice.
Yeah, they're giving the community a voice, but also sharing a voice with the community about the things that they care about changing. So it's a neat, always profound things come from it that are unexpected. Each program is so different. It's always a journey, and it always is completely different.
Salmonberries, Nootka roses, dandelions, clover and more welcome you as you enter the North Island Hospital in the Comox Valley. Health and well-being, art and culture come together on the welcoming wall. This is an awe-inspiring collaborative project with the Comox Valley Art Gallery, the Comox First Nation and the North Island Hospital in Courtenay.
I think that there's a well-established link between health and well-being and art and culture, and you're seeing it on living display on these walls in the hospital.
3 large panels in the central registration area offer a reflection of the local landscape and the cultural history that's embedded within it. The imagery offers a welcoming invitation through scenes that embrace the forest, the sea, the wildlife and culture in the Comox Valley. The series of photographs communicate a sense of comfort and safety for individuals visiting the hospital.
We worked with photographer Alan McAnulty, as well as with the Comoquay dancers and with the artists, to select images that would bring you into the hospital and invite you into the territory. So the first image is of the women's dance, and they are clearing the space and bringing you into the space. And then the next image is of a reclamation pole that Carver Everson and Randy Frank worked on under Calvin Hunt out at the Spit. And then we see the salmon run, and then we see the eagles. And then the last image is of the drummers, the Comoquay drummers, holding the heartbeat in the drum.
This is our Himalayan blackberry, and this is our springbok clover.
The artwork on the welcoming wall, created by elder Barb White and photographer Alan McNulty, honors the traditional medicinal plants and cultural healing practices of the Comox First Nations people. Barb chose the plants of the territory, like roses, yarrow, blackberry and huckleberry, to be uplifting for body, mind and spirit.
I was very happy to be asked to be a part of the welcoming wall. For me, it's a dream come true to see the plant medicines being recognized in a health facility. We tried to capture the well-being for body, mind and spirit in the welcoming wall.
Barb is proud to be part of the team with Dr. Jeff Basalt. The project started about 4 years earlier with the design of the healing garden outside, the plant medicine garden.
So with the playground being put in the middle of the plant medicine garden, we had to choose plants that were environmentally friendly for the children.
This is a peaceful garden for reflection, with a children's play area in the center surrounded by indigenous plants. There are logs and rocks to sit and climb on, amongst silver sea grasses, spreading beach strawberries, shady pine trees, and colorful Canadian maples. The welcoming wall brings the awareness of local plants outside, inside. Behind the welcoming wall is the gathering room, All Nations Room. They use traditional colors of red and black in the gathering room, a quiet sanctuary designed for territorial smudging ceremonies. The Comox Valley Art Gallery is progressing with art throughout the hospital. The area recently finished is pediatrics. Children from Quinish Elementary School next door were invited to paint to the theme, Transformation and Change. This resulted in 180 artworks using wet-on-wet, watercolor, paint and collage. These paintings were photographed and woven together digitally as beautiful visual panels mounted on the corridor walls, offering hope and encouragement to all those in the hospital environment.
So the kids were really committed to making work that would make other children feel supported and safe and to give them some joy. So watercolor was a really great way to express that.
For a lot of people, going to the hospital is not because of a pleasant experience. So I think we need to do all that we can to make a hospital as welcoming as possible and as something that and as engaging as possible. And that's what we're trying to achieve here, and we're really proud with the work that is up.
The art in the hospital is an amazing community achievement, bringing nature, health, youth, First Nations, artists, medical staff and construction workers all together in harmony to communicate a sense of comfort and safety to those visiting the hospital. In the Comox Valley, I am Kate Brown.